Hey man, it's low key and I say I am Mr. Super Facts. Let's get into it. Tonight's topic. It's gonna be a short video. Renee, good. Was she an observer or a provocateur? Let's have a real conversation. Now, I want to read the definition of an observer. Someone or something that watches, notices, or pays attention to events, people, or phenomena, often without actively participating. This is the fucking definition of the word, of the career path, the title that this female claimed. They said she was a legal observer. I've never even heard of that in my fucking life. You know, where I'm from, that's called a fucking spectator. That's called a witness. That's called a motherfucker, a watcher. That's called, you know what I mean? And where I'm from, you supposed to mind your business anyway. If it ain't personally affecting you or the people you love, you need to mind your business anyway, because that's how you get killed. Let's have a real conversation. So once again, what is an observer? An observer is someone or something that watches, notices, or pays attention to events, people, or phenomena, often without actively participating. Serving as a reporter, analyst, or witness, such as a political commentator. Essentially, they are sources of information gathered by careful watching and recording. What we saw was Renee Good completely creating and instigating a conflict with federal agents that had the legal right and instruction to do a particular job. And she was interrupting their literal federal orders and their investigation. She inserted herself into a situation that didn't have nothing to do with her gay ass or her wife or she inserted herself into a situation that would have never ever in life affected her or her family. So this whole everything that's going on with Renee Good is really a conversation of, you have people out here that are self-accountable, that hold themselves accountable for their lives. That's the conversation, that the psychological undertone, you know what I mean? Like the pseudo, you know what I mean? Like conversation, like that's bullshit. The whole arguing about the car, the officer, what the officer should have did. No. People that hold themselves, this is it in a nutshell. People that hold themselves self-accountable for their life, their livelihood, if they make it home or not. We feel like she played a stupid game and she won a stupid prize. She created the entire situation. They said that the girl was following, they said that was their job, that was her occupation, to follow ICE around. To follow ICE around and instigate conflict. Apparently unarmed and with no particular strategy, just to cause chaos. Renee Good was an agent of chaos. Simple as that. So the full context is, because when I heard about the story, you know, immediately, this is not the first time. We've already had George Floyd. They calling her Floyd George. They calling her Floyd, or they calling her Georgiana Floyd or some shit like that. And it's crazy. This shit took place a couple blocks away. So it's definitely some energy harvesting going on. I wouldn't even want to live over there. Wherever that is, Minnesota, Minneapolis, whatever the fuck that is, I wouldn't want to live over there. I can only imagine how fucking terrible the energy is over there. But anyway, so people that just believe in self-accountability, we look at it from the side of our brain. We're like, I would never put myself in such a stupid, idiotic situation. And then once I put myself in this, we think things through from the very beginning to the middle part, how it could play out, and actually all the consequences. So yeah, I guess in her brain, she didn't think there's a possibility that these men with guns could shoot my ass in the face. And that comes from a lack of, you know what I'm saying, force. That comes from a lack of just fucking common sense. Let's have a real conversation. It comes from a lack of common sense. I just got pulled over. My fucking headlight went out. I just got pulled over an hour ago. There's a man with a gun in my window, and I don't have a gun. So I should probably do whatever I can to not get shot. But this is what I'm saying. It's the mind virus, because I'm not left, right, whatever. Fuck the government. But there's a mind virus once you start to play this political game, that if you identify, you basically sell your soul to that liberal state of mind. It's a mind virus, and these females really do believe they're invincible. These females believe, and a lot of these females, they've never been punched in the face. They've never been in a physical altercation. They've never even seen one in real life. So they think that they're literally invincible because they've never been exposed to murder, to a violent assault, to the worst case scenario physically. This is a real thing. So these people truly believe they're like children. You know what I mean? They truly believe that they can just lash out and just show, where I'm from, my great grandma used to say, show they ass. They believe that they can just carry on however they want to carry on, but and then they forget actions have consequences. Let's have a real conversation. So it's like that side, the people that are saying, well, the officer didn't have to do this, and the officer, what? I don't give a fuck about I'm looking at it from if it was me. I wouldn't. I'm a person that's ruled by logic. I'm not gonna give another human being the opportunity to kill me. What? You know what I mean? My life will never, I will never be a lack of, intelligence or whatever, self-awareness, whatever. I would never give another human being the window, the opportunity to shoot me in the face. I would never do that. That's stupidity. They call it they call her death, the Darwin Award. You know what I mean? Like, she created that. These are facts. And these people are in their emotions because they're mentally brainwashed and they're tied to these political bullshit. And it's all just a massive psychological operation, bro. That's all it is, to divide and conquer. Because as soon as people start coming together and they're like, oh shit, everybody's saying left and right is bullshit. There's people coming together and they're saying this whole thing is bullshit. We got to hit them with some dumbass shit like this. And it's a perfect example of why people will never come together. Like, let's have a real conversation. The Goyim will never unite. Because all they got to do is put some, have situations like this. And within a split second, everybody's, the peasants are, ready to kill each other. Let's just have a real conversation, So, she definitely, lacked a lot of just, foresight. A lot of, situational awareness. You know what I mean? This is not a conversation about, to be scared of the military or scared of ICE or to fall in line or respect. It's not a conversation about that. This is a conversation about, if you really want to get shit done, you have to have a strategy, and you have to come together with your community. You know what I mean? This isn't you, whatever she was doing or was attempting to do to block the road for ICE. What did she accomplish? We don't even have to, you know what I mean? Like, it's no hypotheticals here. What did she accomplish? Absolutely nothing. Now, I mean, I guess you could say they donated. She made 1.5 million in donations. So if drive baby drive, I don't expect them to make any type of intelligent decision with $1.5 million. Absolutely not. Once again, when her wife was trying to get, Renee's wife was trying to get in the car, and Renee wasn't even paying attention to that. And then her wife told her, after the door was locked, she couldn't get in the car. She told her, drive, baby, drive. So her own wife played a part if she heard her. But, I think it was 50-50. I think maybe she heard her say drive, but she got scared, because that's what children do. See, a child doesn't think situations all the way through. A child doesn't think a situation all the way through. A child is just in the moment. A child has their emotions on autopilot. So then when a child finally realizes, oh shit, I can get really hurt, something really bad can happen to me, they automatically just try to run. Like, and I always said that even with black people that be having they'll be detained or in a situation with the police, and then they run on some Ricky shit from fucking Boys in the Hood. Why are you running from a motherfucker that has a gun? So you can get, that's like literally like the easiest, fastest way to get shot in your back and never be able to walk again if you don't die. I mean, this is what I'm saying. These people, they're fucking dumb. They're dumb. Renee Good was dumb. This is not there's no emotion involved in this statement. Her actions reflect her level of intelligence. This was a dumb person to do what she did. Okay, so I'm going to create this situation. I'm going to block federal agents that are here to do a particular assignment that's not affecting me, my family, my dog, anything that has nothing to do with me at all. When you're supposed to be an observer. You're here to record and observe and, you know what I'm saying, witness what's going on. And that will have, if you're recording this stuff and shit like that, and they are treating people like shit or doing illegal shit, that's gonna have more effect, a more positive effect in whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, trying to get rid of ICE or whatever your goal is or whatever, than you creating this whole spectacle. She created this whole spectacle, and what my question is, what positive has come out of it? Once again, people think that they're like making shit better, but they're not. So now you created a whole situation where now, once again, here we go again, you got everybody's divided. When if you would have exercised common fucking sense, logic, and came up with some sort of a real life strategy, you know what I mean, you could have been more successful in whatever it was you were trying to, get done, you know what I mean? But, you think that, like, dude, 60 days from now, 90 days from now, no one's gonna give a fuck about Renee Good. You understand? So whatever it was you were trying to do, it died with you. You understand? See, this shit is a marathon. And it's a lot of people, they're ruled by their emotions. They're stuck in that frequency. They're stuck in a really low frequency, so they can't see outside. It's like a goddamn sandbox, and I'm standing outside. People like me, we're standing outside the sandbox, seeing all the bullshit going on, you know what I mean, inside the sandbox. That's all this shit is. And you just ask out of all of these psyops, all of these situations, you ask yourself one question: did this person and their actions bring people together or draw people apart? Simple as that. Simple as that. Okay? So, my breakdown is, if she served as more of a provocateur than an observer in this particular situation. Okay? And that's just coming from, I just feel like that's just coming from a grown-up perspective and somebody that's in control of their emotions, man, and somebody that, these people be so stuck in their fucking ego and thinking that it's like, you're in control of this shit. It's up to you to save the world type shit. She had this like superwoman complex. Let's have a real conversation, right? So it is what it is. They made some good money. They made some good money. I wish I had 1.5 million. So there's that. But once again, she got the prize. You playing this dumbass game. Politics is a scam. Okay, the system is fucking rigged. The same people, you arguing with people left, right, all of this bullshit. Those same people go out to dinner every fucking night. Those same people go out to dinner every night that you arguing over. You're stupid. You're dumb. Okay, if you vote